Hey guys, so I need to give you a couple special polynomial multiplication forms. You'll have to forgive me, my voice is kind of going a little bit. First one I want to talk about, I'm going to abbreviate DOS. That stands for difference, like subtraction, of squares. And you'll see why in a second here. So the way this thing works is I start with something like square plus triangle. God only knows what goes in these. And I'm multiplying by square minus triangle. And if I do this, if you FOIL this thing out, you'll get the firsts, right? So you'll get square squared. And then there'll be outsides, which will be minus square triangle, and insides, which is square triangle, so those will cancel. And then at the end, out of the last, so you'll get minus triangle square. So what was special was that O and I canceled, right? And O and I cancel when you have this form where you've got something plus something else, and that multiplied by something minus something else. So anytime you see one of these guys where you have some squares and a difference, right? That's why we call it difference of squares. You know that it came from something like this, okay? Anytime you see something like this, you know you can forget the O and the I term, only the first and the last matter. Cool? So that's difference of squares. The pst is a perfect square trinomial. And that thing, really, I'm just going to call it a pst. I don't really care if you know what that stands for. Okay? Mostly the important thing is that it's a perfect square, which really means that I'm taking something like a plus b squared. So when I take something like a plus b and square it, this means the same thing it usually would. I take a plus b and multiply by a plus b. Please note that this is not a squared plus b squared, right? This thing has to get FOILed out. And when you FOIL it out, you get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So when you have squares on each end and twice something in the middle, you're in a good candidate for a perfect square trinomial. Then you should check and make sure that it's the right thing. This is nice and this is nice because these let me go quickly from a kind of multiplication thing to a multiplied out thing. That's going to be important in our next sections where we're trying to solve. Cool?